Good night, viewers. Here are tonight's headlines. A construction worker has been arrested in New Amsterdam for possession of illegal items. 2 men have been sentenced to 3 years and 4 months for break-and-enter and larceny. Additionally, a Guyanese woman has been sentenced to 9.5 years for a foiled murder-for-hire plot against her brother-in-law. In other news, the Guyana Defence Force has successfully completed a critical medical evacuation in Region 7. Police are investigating the fatal shooting of a businessman during a robbery in Adventure, and a Nabaclis man has been convicted of his wife's murder. Stay tuned for more updates on these stories. Nabaclis man convicted of wife's murder. Sherlock James, a 50-year-old gold miner from Nabaclis, East Coast Demerara, ECD, has been convicted of the murder of his wife, Vinette Headley James, following a trial at the High Court in Georgetown. The 12-member jury returned a unanimous guilty verdict after deliberations in the case presided over by Justice Zamila Ali-Paul. James, who had initially pleaded not guilty to the charge, was found responsible for the tragic death of his wife, which occurred on August 21, 2019. The incident took place at the couple's home during a heated argument, where James accused his wife, a 46-year-old clothes vendor and mother of 3, of having an extramarital affair. The altercation escalated, leading to James fatally stabbing Vinette multiple times. Vinette Headley James was rushed to the C.C. Nicholson Hospital at Nabaclis, where she sadly succumbed to her injuries while receiving treatment. The cause of death was confirmed as multiple stab wounds. Following the fatal stabbing, James reportedly attempted suicide and was found by police lying in the backyard of their home. He was immediately taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC, for treatment. Sherlock James is scheduled to return to court on September 5, 2024, for sentencing. Police investigating fatal shooting of businessman during robbery in Adventure. A tragic incident unfolded early Monday morning in the quiet village of Adventure, Essequibo Coast, resulting in the death of 61-year-old businessman Ganraj Basmet. The incident occurred during what is believed to have been a robbery attempt at his home. According to reports from the Guyana Police Force, Basmet's wife, Durpati Ragabar, informed investigators that the couple was awakened by a noise outside their bedroom. While Mrs. Ragabar remained in bed, Mr. Basmet went into the hallway to investigate. Moments later, Mrs. Ragabar heard approximately 4 gunshots and a cry of "thief" echoing through the home. Rushing outside to the bathroom area, she discovered her husband lying in a pool of blood, suffering from what appeared to be a gunshot wound to his chest. Mr. Basmet was immediately transported to the Suddy Hospital, where, despite efforts to save his life, he was pronounced dead on arrival. Preliminary investigations suggest that the assailants fired the fatal shots from outside the residence, aiming through a louver window connected to the washroom. It is believed that the perpetrators were unable to gain entry into the home. The Guyana Police Force has processed the crime scene and launched a full investigation into the incident. Authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward as they work diligently to bring those responsible to justice. This tragic event has sent shockwaves through the small community of Adventure, where Mr. Basmet was a well-known and respected figure. The authorities and local leaders are calling for heightened security measures to protect residents and prevent further violence. Guyanese woman sentenced to 9.5 years for foiled murder-for-hire plot against brother-in-law. Fox News, New York, New York. Reshma Massaron, a 40-year-old branch manager at Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union, was sentenced last week to 9.5 years in prison after pleading guilty to a chilling murder-for-hire scheme targeting her brother-in-law. The plot, which unfolded between July and August 2023, was discovered when the would-be hitman, who was a longtime friend of Massaron and a Guyanese police officer, turned informant. According to court documents, Massaron initiated contact with the officer via Facebook Messenger, proposing that he carry out the murder while the victim was traveling with family in Guyana. Security footage captured Massaron wiring a $2,500 down payment to the officer at a Western Union kiosk inside a Walgreens, sealing her fate. "You take care of business and you be a rich man," Massaron allegedly wrote in one exchange. In another, she threatened, "Either way, if I find somebody to do the job, you're going to get blamed, so cut the bulls **T and let's get it done." The scheme unraveled when the officer, instead of complying, informed the intended victim and his wife. The couple promptly reported the plot to the U.S. Embassy in Guyana, leading to a covert investigation. A crucial piece of evidence was a recorded phone call in which Masserone detailed her desire for the murder to appear as a robbery. This call, later translated by a DEA special agent and a native Guyanese speaker, played a key role in the case. In court, Masserone's attorney argued that her actions were out of character, driven by a state of rage, after enduring 25 years of alleged harassment by the victim. The defense claimed that the victim had relentlessly tormented Masserone, attempting to sabotage her professional and personal life, including harassing her eldest daughter, a Dean's List college student. However, prosecutors dismissed these justifications as insufficient to excuse such a heinous act. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams condemned Masserone's chilling plan to have a member of her own family murdered for the low price of $10,000, labeling her actions as unthinkably heartless. The case shed light on deep-seated family tensions, with some relatives accusing Masserone of previous exploitative behavior, including taking out an insurance policy on a dying relative. In the aftermath of her sentencing, family members publicly condemned her, with one relative calling her a cold-hearted animal and another declaring, "That woman is evil." Masserone's attorney could not immediately be reached for comment. Guyana Defence Force successfully completes critical medical evacuation in Region 7. The Guyana Defence Force, GDF, has successfully carried out a critical medical evacuation, bringing a 56-year-old miner to safety after he was attacked by bees in the remote area of Macapa, Region 7. The miner, who fell seriously ill following the bee attack, was initially treated by GDF medic Lance Corporal Michael Hunt, who was on site. Recognizing the severity of the situation and the need for advanced medical care, Lance Corporal Hunt promptly contacted the Headquarters Medical Corps for further support. Given the remote location and the absence of an airstrip, a helicopter was swiftly deployed from Base Camp Guyana, BCA, at approximately 11:30 hours on Wednesday. The helicopter, equipped with medical personnel and necessary equipment, safely evacuated the patient to BCA, arriving at around 13:40 hours. Upon arrival at BCA, the miner was in critical but stable condition. He was immediately transferred to a GDF ambulance and rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where he received further medical treatment. The GDF remains committed to providing rapid response and medical assistance to those in need, regardless of their location within the country. Construction worker arrested in New Amsterdam for possession of marijuana. A 40-year-old construction worker, Kevin Bunyan, has been arrested after police discovered 179 grams of marijuana during a search of his home in New Amsterdam, East Burbus Quarantine. According to a report from police headquarters, officers conducted a search of Bunyan's house on Sunday as part of an ongoing operation targeting arms, ammunition, and narcotics. During the search, police discovered a multicolored bag containing several small transparent Ziploc bags filled with leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis. Bunyan was immediately informed of the offense and taken into custody. In addition to the suspected narcotics, the police also found a Parsun boat engine and a red CD motorcycle on the premises. When questioned about these items, Bunyan was unable to provide a reasonable explanation for their presence. The officers then took possession of the items for further investigation. Bunyan, along with the suspected narcotics and other items, was transported to the Central Police Station. The marijuana was weighed in his presence and confirmed to be 179 grams. The narcotics were subsequently placed in an evidence bag, marked, sealed, and lodged. The other items were also recorded and lodged as part of the ongoing investigation. 2 men sentenced to 3 years and 4 months for break and enter and larceny. 2 men have been sentenced to 3 years and 4 months imprisonment after being jointly charged with break and enter and larceny. The sentencing was handed down on Friday at the Suddy Magistrates Court. Safraz Aula, also known as Antsman, a 27-year-old bus driver from Para Street, Anna Regina, Essequibo Coast, and Joel Christopher Lee, a 30-year-old vendor from La Belle Alliance, Essequibo Coast, appeared before Magistrate Tamika Clark to face the charges. The crime took place between August 24 and 25, 2024, according to the police report. The men were accused of breaking into the home of a 30-year-old businessman and his parents in 3 Friends, Essequibo Coast. The stolen items included a quantity of jewelry, U.S. currency, watches, and Guyana currency, with a total estimated value of $26.5 million. Following their conviction, both Aula and Lee were sentenced to 3 years and 4 months imprisonment for their roles in the robbery. This case underscores the ongoing efforts by law enforcement to bring perpetrators of such crimes to justice.